I briefly touched on the communication between the on-premise network, edge gateway, and the cloud itself. The communication in the IoT, this is pretty important topic because we need to somehow access those remote devices, and those devices need to somehow work with the backend systems. Those are the protocols that I think you should start with. For sure, this is not the complete list of protocols and communication options available for IoT, but based on my experience, those are the most popular and gives you very good starting point. So first of all, MQTT. I'm a huge fan of MQTT because it enables that many-to-many type of communication. So we've got the number of MQTT clients that subscribe and publish messages to the MQTT broker, and those messages can be received by further clients in the cloud, on-premise, or maybe both, because the MQTT allows you to send one message from the client and deliver the same message to number of different subscribers. So this is very important. Here you can find a link to the MQTT page, and I also added link to MQTT specifications because there are a few versions of MQTT that you can find in various engagements, and having the overall understanding of what changed from version 3 to version 5, I think this is pretty helpful, and maybe a bit of history why the MQTT does not have explicit version 4 is also an interesting story to follow. Then we've got the RESTful API. And RESTful API, this is something that is typically used on the backend. Our application or our system expose secure APIs so other applications can interact with it. But those APIs can also be used by our remote devices. In some cases, you cannot use MQTT, then you might think about building the REST API. And if you're interested in this, this is a pretty good article covering what RESTful API is and how to establish that communication, how that communication looks like. So I strongly recommend that you go through it. It is provided by AWS, but it is not AWS specific. So I think it is a very good resource. And finally, we've got OPC Foundation with the OPC UI. And this is something that is more focused on the industrial IoT. So if you work with factory equipment, learning that protocol, how to use it to establish communication between various devices and your edge gateways. This is also very important. Though, once again, it is mainly for industry and not necessarily for that broad use as the MQTT, for instance.